I'll call meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman Scott, would you please read the
Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts, and we ask that you give us wisdom as we make decisions that will affect our community. We ask you to bless and protect our employees, police officers, and first responders. And we thank you for the members of the military, both past and present, and ask that you keep them safe. Lord, we pray that we will always be aware of your guidance in everything that we do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Okay, Mr. Thomas will now be our night.
I'll make a motion to excuse. Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Minutes?
Motion for the minutes?
Are we gonna get minutes for the special meeting?
There should be some in there.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Well, I didn't get them done, but yeah, you will get them.
Okay, I just didn't know if I just was missing them.
No, I haven't.
Okay,
Well, that wasn't.
did you get a second? Second.
Bennett? Yes. Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Bills?
Motion on the bills. Second.
Can I ask a question before we go?
Sure can.
On the one from the bank, Applebee's Bank, it has deposit in transit, and that's from December the 17th.
You're not looking at the bills.
Oh, I thought that would be in.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion by McKinney, a second by Bailey. Bennett?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
We don't have an hourly worker anymore? Okay. So, that means we got fireman's time.
Motion on the fireman's time.
Second.
Bennett? Yes. Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Okay, court treasurer report.
We received, again this year, where Fairless High School is doing a Mother's Day walk. They're answering for businesses and communities to sponsor their walk. The funding goes to Fairless Helping Fairless.
Didn't we do that last year?
You didn't do it.
You
But-
didn't do it?
But I report it to you because it's mail in. Nick's Garage did work on the 2014 Ford Explorer. I did an emergency PO for it. They had to work on the control arm assembly, put in two new tires. I checked today with Murphy's Tractor in regards to the 2 buckets that the VA ordered for the backhoe, and the lady hasn't called me back yet. He had ordered a bucket for digging water lines and for the cemetery specifically. They're not in as far as I know.
Where's that company at, Debbie?
Murphy's Tractors in Canton.
Okay.
We had tonight a records retention meeting, and we will be having another one on 4/5, the first meeting in April at 6:30, to review one more time and vote on the destruction of the record. I'm having problems entering the CARES Act documentation. A new computer was put in my office, and I don't know if it's a new computer or what's causing it. In talking with the state, other communities that had the same problem, I'm going to switch computers and try the one that Amy uses tomorrow while she's entering payroll. We'll see if I can get into the screens. I had a conversation last week with Danny Cloa. Dan Cloa, who was on council and who owns our website. He wanted me to talk to council about it. The website has been, from the beginning of time, in Dan's name. It's run through his business, the 415 Group. He wants to know if you want him to continue to handle our website and our email addresses for the website, or if the village wanted to take it over. If we take it over and it goes in the village's name, then we have to research the laws of what has to be on that website. They're very specific, I guess, with the Sunshine Law, what has to be available on the site. And you have to keep it up to date. If you want him to continue to do it, he will be glad to. The only thing is that we had to switch from the email service to Microsoft 365. There's going to be a charge on every email address, and I believe it's like $5.65 a month per address. So my address, Cindy's address, mayor's, the VA, any address that's on this list will be charged back to Mr. Cloa. We will have to pick up some of that cost. He pays himself $1,000 a year to keep that website in operation. He has since the beginning. He's never built a village for it.
What is, what's the big thing about keeping it there?
With Dan,
Yes. I mean, I know you got, I can't see bringing it to the city either. Is there a reason we need it?
well, yeah, you need a website. You have to have a website in today's world. It's computer. They get online and they look up stuff, and they do pull information for income tax, some of the forms.
I think we should just leave it with Dan.
All he's wanting is the 5 for each email address.
I think it's $5.65, but they talked about this a month ago, and they still never billed him for it. So this is a new process they're going through. But eventually, we will have to pay an amount for each email address.
Is that every month or once a year?
Every month.
$5.65.
But
for
that is
each
very
email.
inexpensive.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
He's probably doing that at cost. I pay $6 a month for mine through Google, so.
I will make a motion that we leave it with Dan, and if he gets billed for the village's email addresses, that we pay for the email addresses.
Okay, I don't understand $1,000 for.
No,
I get
Dan's, he's paying that himself. He's paying that himself. The only thing Dan has asked us to pay for is for the email addresses, each email address. The one for the mayor, for Deb, for Cindy, and for the VA.
Well, that's cheaper. I thought maybe we'd have to pay $1,000 to help him or something.
That's
I've
20.
offered, because it's not his responsibility. And he didn't ask for this. I told him it's time that we step up and pay our share.
And we could pay some on the $1,000.
I offered, he wanted
He won't?
he wanted to continue, that's his contribution to the village.
Okay,
That sounds good.
then
That's
we
what I
just
need to
pay
know.
for the email addresses.
I'll second it. What is that, 4 of them?
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is police, 9 or 10.
And that's
Minimum.
still only $50 or more, right around there a month.
Okay.
I make a motion we pay all email addresses for the village. And
And I have a second by Bailey. Bennett?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
yes,
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott?
Yes.
Oh, and, the auditor, state auditor contacted my office. We have a class set up for Amy and I on the 13th and 14th of April. It's on the computer, it's webinar, it's free of charge, that I have to at least go through one day of it. We have the legislation, the second reading of ordinance 2102, approval and granting consent to the director of the Ohio Department of Transportation Authority Company. And I'm gonna stop there because we'll probably talk with the solicitor about that. But it'll be your second reading,
I'm sorry, Jenny, which one did you say that was?
ordinance 2102. That's for working on, what, state routes 93 and 212, I believe.
I didn't know, but we had that years ago, the way I heard, right?
We sure did. I have a copy of ordinance number 9219, which was the exact same thing. And included in that was the language that was of concern. So I spoke with ODOT. They confirmed to me they will not strike it. They will not agree to remove it from the legislation. And they also confirmed essentially what I had said at the last meeting, which is that if we sign off on it, right now there is no agreement for the snow and ice. That would come later. They said they might be willing to negotiate that, but for this one in the recital clause, it's essentially giving them the ability to say, you're responsible for claims against you, and you may not point to us as responsible for those claims. You have to hold us harmless again.
So the 92 is no good.
It
They
doesn't have
want
an
a new one.
it doesn't have an expiration date, but I would say, do you know if we ever entered into an actual agreement as a result of signing off on this? Don't know?
I don't know.
I would say potentially still in effect. I mean, it doesn't have an expiration, shall take effect and be enforced from and after the earliest period allowed by law. So it may still be in effect. That argument could be
So if we
made.
don't have no trouble, why don't we just go ahead and pass and do it?
Well, I think that's the discretion of council. I mean, the concern that I received was relating to whether or not we are,
Liable for their.
whether we could be liable for their claims, a claim that was filed against us arising out of their conduct. We could be, that claim could be filed, we would be able to defend ourselves against it, to say it wasn't us, we didn't do it, we were never there, and most likely we would prevail, right? Because we weren't there, we didn't do the work, it was ODOT. In the event that, but what we couldn't do is file a claim against them to contribute to any loss. You can't, and even that, I mean,
Well, the state's got to allow you to do it.
right, that's sovereign immunity.
That's right.
So I don't know that that would be necessarily viable. You'd have to do it in the Court of Claims, CUTV down in Columbus. So, but that is what it says, that is the goal, and they're not willing to remove it, so.
I think what we ought to do is just go ahead and pass it, so we don't have no trouble. We've never had none since we did that 92, that I know of.
Well,
What's
this
the
is our-
council say?
This is our second reading. We just, when we're reading it, we will vote on
Good enough.
it, right?
Go on. Village of Beach City ordinance number 2104. An ordinance amending ordinance 2013 to replace the references to Church Street with Church Avenue.
Well,
This is
since this has already been approved, actually, the whole thing's been approved, this is just changing the name from Church Street to Church Avenue, because it was put down on the original the wrong way. I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second. Bennett?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Schott?
Yes,
Make a motion to approve it.
second.
It's just changing the name.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes,
And Schott.
Yes.
I have ordinance number 2105, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the village of Beach City, Ohio to enter into a police service agreement with the village of Wilmot, Ohio. Did I copy, I did copy it, I see in George's hands, the contract that the solicitor wrote up. He prepared that, and he also prepared the ordinance for it. You want to do your first reading?
Did this one have the change that he made?
Yes,
Yes.
the change that you had requested.
I read it, I just couldn't find it.
The
I
30.
read it on the computer and I saw it, but I didn't.
$30.
Yeah, and I think you were
About
asking,
the $30 or?
No, it was
Oh.
just about making sure that they're responsible for transportation of their prisoners or whatever.
yeah, and it's last sentence of section 3 is where I added it. I think I was reading it as though legal fees associated with prosecuting criminal traffic would cover it, but I think you're right to make it specific. So the last sentence there says, any costs associated with transportation.
Now, on this one, I think that we should take a first reading because Wilmot's having their meeting tonight also. So I think we could have a second reading and then try to pass it then because it has to be into effect before May 1st.
Well, and you also have to give them a notice, a 30-day notice that you're doing this.
Yeah, and I did not serve a notice just because I wanted to be clear that that's what, I didn't want it to terminate in 30 days and then there'd be confusion. So I did not serve the notice. I can. I spoke with their solicitor and she agreed to accept service. The contract requires service by certified mail. She said you can email, I said, can I just email this to you? And she said, that's fine. So we can terminate if we're waiting until second reading, possibly going into a third, maybe wait till the next one. And if you'd like, I can send a draft of this if it's acceptable to, if the form of the contract, not the legislation, if that's acceptable to council, I can send it to them for review. I haven't done that yet.
Well, I'm sure the chief's going to present it to them tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because they are having their council meeting. They couldn't have it last week, so they're having it tonight.
he said he'd be back over here at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we can address this after he gets back.
Okay, I have it down as the first reading,
Okay.
and that's it.
All right, fire. Chief Bill.
I don't have a lot tonight. Total calls year to date were 57. As of the same date in 2020, it was 62. Mutual aid summary is as follows. We give mutual aid to Brewster 2 times, give it to Wilmot once, given to Dundee once, and received from Brewster 1 time. I want to remind everybody, and I'm sure council's probably aware, we've been on several brush fires in the last couple weeks. There is a no burning ban in effect right now. That's for the month of March, April, May, October, and November. No burning from 6A to 6P. There's reasons for that. These guys come out in the nice weather, they start fires, and then we're running it through a field. So
March and there's 2 months out of the year, is that what it was?
it's March, April, and May, and then it comes into effect again November or October and November.
What time is that?
It's 6A to 6P, and you can get on any website and look up the Ohio burn bans. And then even when you do burn, it's got to be a 3x3x3 ceremonial fire. It's got to be clean, cut firewood. And I encourage anybody to look up the regulations. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is we've had one in our area, and we've mutuated Brewster and Wilmot also on one. So I mean, it's been in the last few weeks has been an issue. FireCat will be here on Wednesday, April 28th. That's the company that tests our hose. That was approved for a 3-year contract, so that money will be coming out. It should be right around $1,700, I think it was last year. But they'll be here in April. We'll be doing it over at the middle school again. So Brewster's agreed to allow us to use their water again to do that, so there won't be any more cost to us. The only thing I do want to do tonight, if you remember, I brought up last council meeting, we were allowing Wilmot to use our old Life Pack 12. We talked about it at the meeting. It's no use to us and it's beneficial to them. I would like permission to take it off of our inventory and donate that piece of equipment to the village of Wilmot.
Now,
I'll make
you
a
already
motion.
have the two that replaced it, right?
Yes, sir. This was replaced by the 15 we bought this year. It was actually put onto our rescue truck. It don't ever get taken off, and it's just getting bounced around anyway. So this is really going to help their community out. It keeps their second squad in service. So
And it is out of service for us, right?
technically, yes. It's not serviceable anymore. We can't get a service contract on it. But it's just like when they help us with the packs. I mean, it's something that they can use still. So
I make a motion, we donate that life pack to Wilmot.
Second?
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Yes.
and Shop.
Yeah.
And I'll get that, I'll work with Stephanie, get that taken off our inventory. The only other thing I got is, we set up, with the weather breaking, we've set up our first barbecue chicken drive-through. It is gonna be on Saturday, April 17th, starting at 2 p.m. We'll start serving. Same as last year, it's a half a chicken, baked beans, applesauce, roll and butter, and a cookie for $10 a meal. We'll have them driving through the building just like we did every time last year, so.
You are delivering?
We could probably work something out. I don't want to say that out loud and on public record, but we might be able to help a few people out if need be.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Tape recorder.
Oh, well. I'm sure if we need to, we can help somebody out in our town. We'd be more than willing to help, I'm sure.
Okay.
But like I said, as of right now, we have not talked about a festival. We have not talked about opening our bingo back up. I know things are looking up as far as the Corona world's concerned, but we'll see how things go and how the governor decides to ease up on the restrictions before we make any rash decisions across the street. That's all I got.
I got a question, the siren, did they get things worked out with?
No, so the problem we have with our siren is it's 4 different entities trying to work on the same thing. So we're working through one, through another. So we were waiting on Marks to assign a DTMF tone. They assigned it, then we had to wait on Red Center to install it, a button. They got that done. Staley's come down and worked on the siren, and something's wrong with the speed of the DTMF tone. So now we're back to square one. We're working with Marks again. Marks has got they got to speed up this tone or whatever. So we're working on it, but we haven't had much luck because there's just so many people involved, and it's hard to get everybody on the same page at the same time.
Yeah,
And Dan McDonald's been working on that, and hopefully soon we'll have something. With severe weather coming, we are still able to activate our tornado siren.
Right.
I believe they're still simulcasting through the old South Tower as of yet. So they'll be able to simulcast even from Red Center, and if not, then they can notify us and we can set it off manually from the station, obviously. So it's not an issue. It needs fixed,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
not an
obvious.
issue. And I mean, honestly, EMA's been talking about doing away with fire sirens for tornado warnings anyway. So if they do away with that, that would be our biggest concern, would be a tornado warning. And I mean, everybody holds a cell phone in their hand, so they've got the warning device right in their hand at all times. You really don't need that siren wailing for 3 minutes to let people know, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, we used to do it for nuclear war thing when we were young. Remember in school, they used to do that?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that. I couldn't.
Bailey remembers it.
I remember they told us to do something that wouldn't have done any good
Oh, no,
anyhow.
well.
Get under your desk.
What
Yeah,
about
civil
curfew?
air defense and whatever.
curfew still blows. Curfew
No,
and
but it went
news.
off at 10 last night.
Yeah, it's an hour off.
Oh, okay, it needs reset because of the time. We'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Debbie
give me
tried
until
to-
tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow if
She
nothing
tried
else.
to take
That's
2
fine.
lunches today because it went off at Well, they went once at 12 and then at 1 it went off and she.
Well, she paid me for that, so, that was an inside job.
I didn't
You know, we'll get it fixed, I forgot about time change, we'll get it.
All right, bud. Solicitor, do you have anything? We don't have a administrator.
Yeah, at the last meeting, the question was asked about sale of real estate. So I pulled the statute for that.
Oh,
721.03 is the applicable statute. And if the village wanted to sell any real estate, it would have to first be approved by ordinance with 2/3 vote of council. So you need 5 of 6
Right.
voting on it. And then it would have to be advertised in a newspaper of general circulation once a week for 5 consecutive weeks.
Gee.
And afterwards, the council could either accept or reject a bid, but if a bid is accepted, it must be the highest. So if you see some, like competitive bidding, we'll say lowest and best, or language similar to that, you don't get that discretion with real estate, it's highest bidder. So it would really either be accept the highest number or reject them all.
Okay.
And aside from that, I do not have anything for the open portion.
Okay, well, that's good.
Need executive session?
Yeah, we do, we need to, but first, let's see, the water rate study, we do need to have a vote on that tonight, whether we accept it or not, because I have to talk to Mr. Bible tomorrow.
Where was the paper on that? Did
10
we
to
have that?
14,000 on that. On the water rate, that's the water rate study to see what's the best way to go about getting our water, yeah.
From somewhere else?
Yeah. Wilmot, ourselves,
That's awful expensive to have that.
yeah. And plus they're doing the water rate too, which is about $7,000.
Are we gonna wait until we get a new administrator to go ahead with this?
Well, if you do that, then we won't be able to get it done this year. That's why he wants to know, he wants to get it on the road so that they can, because they have to have all the stuff for the grant done by August, so they can get everything sent in so they can. start.
They're writing the grant too then?
Oh, yeah, they write everything. You know, they do
What's the grant for?
Yeah, that.
Whatever the cost to get us water, like running new water lines, maybe a new well. They're gonna write the grant for anything they find out is feasible for the village to get water from somewhere else other than Camp.
That's why they need us, because to write a grant, they need to have more than one, they gotta have like 3 or 4 different ways of doing it, to show them that we, that we're trying to find a way to do this. That's why they need the
And who's
information.
doing the work again?
Our engineers, Quicksall.
Quicksall.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we sign an agreement with them to do the rate study, the water rate study. Have that,
Did we prepare legislation for that? Are we supposed to?
It's a contract. He just wants to know if we're gonna accept it, then we'll,
Council could, I guess, vote on accepting it,
Yeah.
and then we could put the legislation together for.
Got it,
Can
okay.
somebody send me a copy of the agreement?
the agreement.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, was the motion by McKinney? Did someone second it?
No, not yet.
Second. Bennett?
Yes?
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
No.
And Schott?
Yeah.
Oh, also, we need to accept the resignation, I don't think we didn't accept Greg's resignation last meeting.
I don't think so.
They had it, you guys all read it, so we're gonna have to accept that tonight.
What's the date on that, John?
It was, March the 8th was his last day.
March 8th.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Banner,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay, now we need personnel, executive session personnel.
I make a motion that we go into executive session for personnel.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Return from the executive session at 8:08, no action taken.
Get a vote on that?
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
I think what we're gonna do, I think we'll wait till the April 5th meeting, and then we'll, I'm gonna talk to Rick about doing the limbs, and then we could probably start picking them up probably on the 7th or something like that. But I'll talk to Rick, see when he wants to do that. And then, I guess we're up to the police.
How's it going, guys? Is monthly report.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Kurt, Tony, I gave one to the mayor.
Ah, gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got one.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, okay, that's the month of February, I was gonna say, wow, that's a lot for the month of March.
Okay, so the first thing I guess on my list, I'm gonna try to start giving you guys everything on my list here. It's gonna be a little more organized. I was doing it a little bit, but every month you'll get the list here at the bottom of what I'm gonna talk about. That way it kind of keeps things a little more organized, makes it easier when Debbie does her minutes. First thing, Massillon Police Transport contract, it's not attached. I've mailed it to Stephen, the mayor, and Debbie to review. Hopefully we can bring that back next meeting and vote on it after it gets reviewed over.
15 or 16?
It should be right around $1,500, a little over 15, something like that for the contract. So that's for the whole year. There will be no additional, shouldn't be any additional fees included in there unless they have to sit at the hospital with a prisoner or something like that, which is on the contract. But for your average prisoner transports, it's just gonna be $1,500 or whatever. It's an odd number in there. I apologize. I don't have the exact total with me. We are currently making, I've got the black and white car working. It's back up and running. The black car is going to be back up and running by this weekend. And by April 1st, Wilmot gave me the approval tonight to buy a car. So they will be getting a 2016 Ford Explorer. And it's fully equipped. As long as everything checks out on it, I'll have it here in April.
2016?
2016.
A used one then?
Yeah, they're getting used.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The only other thing I need is the sweeper back at the police department has died. I'd like up to $200 to get a new one, as well as $100 for cleaning supplies. And the only other thing I have is Stephen, Tara is under the I believe she's not correct on this one. But she's saying that she's been served her 30 days for the contract. And I'm telling her I don't think that's correct, but all they're asking for is for the extension from April 1st to May 1st because they don't have another meeting until April 12th.
Yeah, and at 6:27, while we had our records meeting, she had emailed, and I had asked her, can you agree to accept service of, be noticed by email? And she said, yes, I accept service as of March 12th, but I didn't even say what the notice is. So I'm not putting that on her, I just think it's a miscommunication.
That's what I thought. I told her, I was like, I will talk to them. I don't see them having an issue with us starting 30 days April 1st because we gotta have the readings on the contract anyways.
Yeah,
And for
unless
she was scared.
unless council sees it differently, from our side, I don't think any notice has been served relative to the police contract. to this date, because we have to go through the readings and everything else.
So she was just concerned that there'd be a lapse in police coverage between when it expired to the time that they would have a chance to pass the new contract. Those are her concern.
So what all did you bring up to them on council?
So tonight, I told them that the contract was gonna go up $4,000, and it's gonna go up $500 next year and $500 the following year. And I said that, you know, before they vote on anything, they're gonna need to look at the contract, make sure everything there is correct, and then go from there. And that was literally all that was brought up and all that was said on my end. Their clerk explained that what it cost them for police coverage every year. It averaged, from 2015, from $29,000 to $30,000 a year by the time they paid for the prosecutors, maintenance on the vehicles, and insurance is what they were paying.
So they're okay with everything else then?
They haven't voted on anything, they haven't seen the contract.
Are you getting rid of one of the cars when you get to 16?
The black and white car will be probably put back out of service.
Okay,
The black car is in excellent shape.
because I seen it going by last night.
Yeah, the black car is in excellent shape, we're gonna keep that thing running. It had a pin-sized hole in the fuel tank, that's why it wasn't working. He's got the fuel tank fixed, and that thing should be back and running this weekend. So you'll again have two vehicles for one lot by April. So as soon as the new one gets here, the black and white one will be put back out of service. At least that's the plan anyway, they'll just use it for parades or secondary. But for the most part, we'll be using their Explorer.
How much did it cost to fix the car?
Our car,
Yeah.
I don't have the bill for that yet, I don't believe, Debbie, do you know off the top of your head?
Oh, in 2014, I have to go digging.
Oh, that's it.
Kurt, what did you say that their clerk said it cost them per year? 29 to what?
She was at 20, I think from 2015 to 2020, she was between $29,000 and $30,000 each year. It was, she had the numbers for each year, is what they were paying. You'd have to get with her to verify. I think the first year, I believe it was between 30 and 29,000.
But that's not for police protection, that was for court costs, the repairs to the equipment on top of your contract. And, transporting their, prisoners to and from, or to, so.
So they came up with, I thought that it was all between 30 and 29,000 each year from 2015. There was one 29,000, I think that was 2019. The rest was between 30 and 30, between 29 and 30,000. But the other ones were right at 30,000, I believe. Don't quote me on that 100%, we can get the accurate numbers from Naomi. But that's where she's at since 2000, I believe it's 2015.
So how many cars will that make us? More than 4?
If we keep the black and white one around, it'd be 5.
Have you come up with any prices on a whole building for out there for the cruisers to be underneath?
I looked at one. And I believe it was a used one, they wanted, I think, 5,000 for it. But I figured it was a little high for what we were
A
looking.
used pool building?
A used, just overhang,
Okay. Oh, I know, I meant,
like carport thing. Oh, you're talking about an actual building enclosed with 3 sides on it.
you don't have to enclose it as long as to start with. You need a roof and the thing up so the cars can be underneath.
Okay, I have not had a chance to go any further with that. I looked at the one.
Well, you said you knew one of the guys that had a chance to look at that.
The one council member does the buildings for us. I'll remind her and see where she's at with that. I did ask her to go through it for me, and I don't.
Yeah, because and the 5th car, if you're gonna have 5, can you park one car over in their fire department?
No,
If you have a problem?
No, they've got a garage that they can use it for us.
Okay.
They've got a bay for us that they fixed up that we can keep, we'll probably keep the black and white car over there. My problem is if I put a car over there, my guys will never drive it. So I'd rather keep them all here. I'll keep the older ones here, keep the charger in the garage. And-
Well, you put the one over there when you need to, a couple days ahead of time, bring it over here. That's all.
easier said than done with one of those. I'll try, but either way, I agree they need to be on the roof.
I have a question. On this report, 44 hours, is that for the month of February?
That's for the month of February, yes.
So you guys put 196 in the month of January?
You have December and January, and our contract restarts in November.
Okay, so it's December,
Well, total hours worked this year, so you have December, January, and February in there, you have 3 months in there.
I make a motion that we, give him the $300, up to $300 for the sweeper and the cleaning supplies.
Second.
Is that you, Richard?
Yeah.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott.
Yeah,
And Steve, I'm okay to, I guess I should ask you guys, I'm okay to let them know that, with the contract passing, their 30-day notice won't start till April 1st, so there's no lapse in contracts, because I believe the contract starts at May 1st.
May
is what
1st.
the writing is. So I guess I would have to go 30 days before May 1st.
Yeah, and I just emailed her, just because I don't know if they're still meeting, but I didn't want them worrying that they're gonna have a lapse in service. So I emailed her and just said, I think there was a misunderstanding. I did not intend to serve any notice, just obtained clarification that I would not have to serve a notice by certified mail. I've confirmed with council that there's not any present notice to terminate the agreement, as we want to ensure both villages have ample time to review and consider the agreement. There will be no lapse in service in 30 days.
no, we wouldn't do that.
No, and that's what I told her, I'm like, I don't think that's what happened, because they're like, we might have to have an emergency, special meeting, I'm like,
No.
I was like, don't plan anything yet, let me talk to them, I'm pretty sure that's not how it was. And so they were okay, and I'm sure she's gonna be fine with the email notification, because it says in the contract they get to be certified or something like that, or.
Yeah, and I think in the new contract I changed it.
So, but she should be fine with that. Other than that, that's, Mark's working out great so far. He worked his first full week last week. He's got a lot of things caught up for me on the police department side. It's gonna be nice having just full-time police there, not with splitting it with another department. A lot of things are gonna continue to be followed up on, so I really just want to tell you guys, thank you again for allowing me to hire a full-time officer. That really helps. And that's all I have.
All right. Anything else?
yeah.
Okay.
One thing, you have mayor's note, the road project was delayed.
Oh, yeah, that was delayed, I forgot to, we had to delay the road project because for some reason, the sewer department didn't know that we were getting our roads paved this year. I know we knew about it since, October. He come in and told me last week that they have to put valves into the street. And he goes, we gotta get this done. And I said, it's supposed to start April 1st. And he goes, I'll see what I can do. He wanted me to make a phone call to somebody, and I said, no, I'm not gonna call him. So what I did was I called the engineers, and they called, Central Allied now is now taken over by Shelley, which they're still honoring the contract now. But when Quicksall called the guy, he goes, oh God, he goes, you guys want it moved up? And he goes, no. He goes, we'd like to have it moved back. So that, they said, fine, so it's gonna get moved back to May or June so we can actually get these valves set in. Because he's gotta dig up the road down by the bank, the intersection there, right here, somewhere right in here by the village hall.
Are you talking a 2-inch riser or something like that, Val?
No, he's talking some other kind of valve. I'm not really exactly sure what, all I knew was that I was upset because he waited until 2 weeks before, and we have the valves, okay?
Okay.
The only reason why we have to contract it out, he said, was because nobody knows how to run the backhoe. So he wanted me to contract it out, and I said, well, we'll see about what we'll talk, so we're gonna see what we can do, so I'm not gonna do that. But we did get it delayed till May or June, so sounds like it's gonna be toward the end of May. But they'll notify us, so hopefully we'll get it so we can get it done.
My other thing is for the chief. We talked at the, not the special meeting, the one before that, about the trash issue on Main Street.
Yes, and I did not address that, I apologize, I'll get it done.
Well, the neighbors now are getting mice from over there, so.
Okay, that'll be, I'll make sure that's taken care of tomorrow, I apologize, I forgot all about it.
Well, you got the other thing picked up at your,
Yeah.
exercise place, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was taken care of, yes, thank you. That was it.
Do you know what that address is there?
228 West Main Street.
I'll send an email out now, that way it's taken care of tomorrow.
Are you talking, is this trash on the porch?
No, this is bags of trash sitting beside the
Oh,
house.
it's the,
And it moves back and it's in the bushes and it moves to one side and back to
It
the
was,
other
it
side.
was between the house and the church at one time.
And now it's between the house and the driveway.
yeah, okay, I did see, there's a bunch of stuff on that porch too, that I was concerned, I just saw the other day.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's trash or
Yeah, I don't know.
that's, I don't know.
Mayor, are
I
you able to
just
call the
worry
health
about-
department on that as well for me?
Yep, sure will.
I'm just concerned about the mice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
West Main
I'll be
Street,
going
right?
into the church too. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, I have a question for Bill.
Okay.
It was on the part from the bank, and it says deposit in transit from December 17th is $23,000.
Oh, what was that?
We got the money from the Sugar Creek Township.
That was 25 something.
Here. That wasn't the workman's comp one.
No, I'm trying to think what that was. I will have to look it up and email you,
Okay,
because
that'll be fine.
I don't think that was the, there was one deposit, there was a problem, but it didn't have to do with us. And I don't know if that was it or not, I need to look, and I don't wanna say a whole lot without being exactly true.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Good night, everyone.